How's it going, everybody? This is Aaron the Pedantic. I am out currently walking a gigantic creature. He's not mine, but he is glorious nonetheless. And I have a bit of a Starfield story, but it's probably not the Starfield story that everybody is wanting to hear right now. Some context. Where has Aaron the Pedantic been for all this time this summer? Whenever he said, "Oh, I've got nothing to do. I can make lots and lots of videos." Well, what he was doing was playing space games mostly. Whenever the opportunity arose, Elite Dangerous, X4, that kind of thing. So, gotten really into space games, and so I was really excited when Starfield was getting, the release date was actually really close. I was like, "Oh, that's really awesome." So I start work back up again, and I've got a nice extended weekend because it's Memorial Day, right? And I pay an extra $30, $100 total, so I can play Starfield early. I pre-downloaded it, came back home on Friday, booted it up, started playing. We had a pretty good start, I gotta say. Pretty good start. I played about 30 minutes. And then I was about to go to my girlfriend's house. So I packed up my PC and I set it down on something. And next thing you know, I dropped it. And it will no longer start. So I experienced a grand total of about probably closer to an hour, honestly. And now I'm trying to get my PC fixed. And I'm devastated, y'all. I'm devastated, honestly. I was so ready. I kept telling myself all throughout the workday, I was like, "Oh, you're going to go home. You're going to play so much Starfield. It's going to be awesome." It's not going to be enough because, of course, this is a whole gigantic RPG and a space game. So, you've got all this exploration you can do, all that. And alas, oh my God, I was so angry. So I had intended at one point to stream playing, but that's not really in the cards right now. I don't know when my computer's going to be fixed, but obviously during that time period, any kind of videos that I do decide to do are not going to be done in the with the professional editing and all that I might otherwise. So it's a shame, but it is the world that we live in. So that is the state of that. But that aside, I kind of do want to talk about what experience I did have with Starfield, even though it was such a short period of time. And I have gotten a grasp on what a lot of people have been saying about their experience. And I just kind of want to throw in my own 2 cents, I guess, just because I at least think I know some things about this kind of stuff. But basically, with the intro, one of the things that I first noticed was that everything runs actually very smooth. Like, that was not an issue that I was having at that point. I have, been watching some people's streams. It's probably torture for myself because I'm like, I could beat you right now if I didn't drop my freaking PC. So I have noticed that there are, of course, this is a Bethesda game, there are some animation glitches and, some like things, people popping in and out of the ground and flying up in the air. And, we have all that glorious stuff, right? But I have to say that surprisingly stable. Maybe this is just the post Cyberpunk 2077 existence, but I was pleased with what I saw, and I've been pleased with everything I've seen elsewhere. So that's really cool. One of the things that I also noticed is that, to me, the voice acting can be a little bit grating at times. Like, there are some characters that I've seen that it seems like the voice actors are trying way too hard in order to be noticed for their ability to manipulate their voice, and it doesn't feel natural. There are so many voice actors out there that feel natural. They feel like you feel the character. This is something that somebody responded to my post about this on Twitter saying that if you notice the voice and not the character, then they've messed up. And I 100% agree with that. The one that I'm thinking of in particular just had a very he had like a very high pitched, and he was like doing a lot of like, just deliver the lines. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. That's one of the things I was kind of feeling with some of the characters. I also felt that, at least for the introduction, and this is probably the point where they should care the most about how things are being delivered. I felt like so spoiler territory, perhaps, I guess, even though this is like the first hour, obviously. So you have a character who you stumble on something that's profound, kind of like in Mass Effect, how you encounter the artifact, the Protean artifact, I think is what it was called. You encounter something kind of like that, and then immediately the person that was wanting it is like, oh yeah, the response to it, and then it's so quick that you go from just being a miner, like so fast that you just go from being a miner to just boom, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, take my ship, and you're gonna go and deliver this yourself, and I'm gonna stay here. And it's very jarring, it feels very unnatural the way that unfolds. I didn't really care for it. This is one of the few times I was actually trying to not just disregard what's happening in the narrative for the benefit of being, really interested in what's going on there. Which is probably foolish of me, honestly, because there really hasn't been a Bethesda game where I didn't just kind of feel meh about the story, like the main quest, and then everything wasn't just the side quests. So that is how I felt about at least how that direction was going. So that kind of, to me, if you can't clean that up in the first hour, then there's probably not a lot of hope, I would say. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm not really that excited about that. Another huge thing is the loading screens. People are talking a lot about the loading screens. I'm just going to say this. It is a felt change to go from games like No Man's Sky, where you can just land. You can just land anywhere. You just press the button and you land, or you just what are you doing? Come on. There he goes. You can just land, or you are going to you can just fly up to planets and you can take off. There's not a cinema. That's a huge thing. It was noticed. It was felt. So, but at the same time, you have to kind of assume that they are so married to the creation engine that there must be some kind of limitation inherent to it. There just has to be. I don't know why for this game that's a problem, and yet we can walk through the entirety of the other places. But then again, in their developer videos, they talked about how each tile is supposedly as large as the entirety of Skyrim or Fallout or whatever. I believe that was something that was said. So if that was true, then maybe this is it's just the creation engine. It's just something that they could not change without doing, who knows what kind of work. They could have been Star Citizen level. We're going to take another 5 to 10 years, just to present this kind of major change to our engine, or just have to scrap it entirely. Who knows? It has, I haven't sit with the game long enough in order for me to decide whether that is going to kill it for me. So, but here's kind of my take on it. My take is that what do we have as an alternative, right? So we have Elite Dangerous, which is a game that is notorious for having this incredible way to just go and go on the planet. Same thing with Star Citizen. You can just go and get on the planets. Same thing with No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky probably definitely out of the three of them has the most for you to do, the most gameplay to actually attach to. But whenever you look at it, like what actually is there on these worlds? It's all just procedurally generated stuff. There's maybe a few missions or whatever, but they're hollow. So what you're really looking at is you're looking at a successor to the Outer Worlds. Yeah, the Outer Worlds, which that was the Oblivion title. Oblivion Studios? Obsidian Studios. That was the Obsidian Studios space game that came out maybe, I guess, like 5 years ago. Very divisive, mostly on... It seemed like people seem to have a very political split on it. That was just my interpretation of how people seem to feel about it. And it was a very, very good game in my opinion. But what you're dealing with there is a game where you cannot fly your spaceship, period. You press a button, it goes to the planet or wherever you want to dock, and then you're there. There's no space combat. There's no nothing. As far as the sense of maps and everything, very small. Resource gathering, well, you're really just grabbing stuff, right? So to me, Starfield is a very slightly advanced version of what you got with Outer Worlds. And then you're just throwing in some more space elements and more exploration. And I think that really for what that is, that's pretty neat. Time will tell whenever my beautiful, beautiful PC is fixed and I can get back to the game. Time will tell exactly how much that content really is, But assuming that they put the time to make some really cool quests and everything, I mean, it's got an actual leveling up system, much like Outer Worlds did, something that is lacking in those other games. Everything in those other games is all crafting, engineering, just making money, right? So it's really apples and oranges in a lot of ways. It's just that with this orange, you're getting just a little bit of apple, just a little tiny bit. And I think that that's pretty cool. I'm excited. I still want to play more. Who knows? Whenever I do get it fixed and I do start playing, there may be a follow-up video where I say, oh, I was entirely wrong. This is incredibly hollow and I hate it. We'll see. But I guess really I just kind of wanted to share my frustration, that I had this game. I had it ready to play. I did play it a little bit. And then I was just too impatient. I was moving too fast and I dropped my entire PC and now the power button is not working. It could be the module, it could be the power button. I'm going to try and buy a replacement part and see if I can get it to work. Or more accurately, if somebody else can get it to work, because that's not me. I'm not a hardware guy. So anyway, I hope everybody is having a wonderful time. If you have played Starfield, feel free to share your experiences, or if you have anything you want to say on any of this, please share it in the comments. And hope you'll have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I said Labor Day, right? Did I say Memorial Day? Labor Day. Okay. Peace.